Shalom Israel. Before I start, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ma'ashem Yahushai, Baharaka Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel, who rule and teach all, the Akims and the Iris and Baris and those pushing videos in truth and sincerity, the brothers and sisters in truth. Now, what I want to do, the scriptures, they speak of what we know as today, or what Esau refers to today as UFO. We know them as IFO. Not unidentified flying objects, but identified flying objects. And in the scriptures, they refer to them as various things. And I just want to go through some scriptures showing you that these things are actually written, recorded in the scriptures. And there's a video I want to show. This channel here is called Metaball Studios. And it says fictional starships size comparisons. And what they've done, certain sci-fi movies, they got their spaceships in them, and what they've done like a real life size comparison, so that you can see how big these ships are that they portray in these movies. So, but before I do that, then this is Zechariah 5:1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll." So Zechariah, what he's seeing, is referring to it as a flying roll. Now, we'll go to the Strong's Air.
Strong's H5774. Oof. Oof.
It says to fly, fly about, fly away, to fly over. So whatever it is he's seeing is something which is airborne. We refer to it as a flying roll. So we look up this term there, roll.
Strong's H4039. Megillah. Megillah.
So it says roll, book, writing. Now, back then, they wouldn't have what we call like a book today. They're like scrolls. So what as Zechariah would have been seeing would be like something which would be a cylindrical shape, because the scrolls, then when you roll them up, they had that cylindrical shape, something like this. And this is what we'll call a cylinder. So yeah, something similar to this in shape, which would be flying. So it says, Zechariah 5:1, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll." So this is what we'll know today as a spaceship, an identified flying object. And he said unto me, "What sayest thou?" And I answered, "I say a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 20 cubits." So he's telling you the size of this spaceship. Then he said unto me, "This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it." So scriptures let us know that these spaceships, these chariots of the Lord, when we see them, these are a curse upon the earth, because these are what's coming back. What Yahushua is coming back in to bring judgment upon this earth. Now, this is Zechariah, he was referring to it as a flying roll. And the scriptures, they're also referred to as clouds. This is Psalms 104:3. It says, "Who left the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind." So here is saying chariot. Clouds are his chariots. And what's this? This is
Strong's H7398. Rachuv. Rachuv.
his chariot is a vehicle as riding on. You come here. It says to mount and ride, to mount and sit on, or ride, sit or ride, to ride, be riding. So this is some form of a transport. But here, we're going to Psalms, it's referring to it as clouds. It says Psalms 104:3, "Who left the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot." So this is what the angels, they riding, they're traveling. And this is what Yahushua himself will be coming back in. And also, this is something which, when we came out of Egypt, we had to guide us. And also, when you think about it, we've always known about these things in the spirit, because you got that song where it says, swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. You know, this is the spaceships we're singing about, you know, and we're referring to them like it mentioned here in Psalms, you know, who maketh the clouds his chariot. So this is what we were singing about, you know, swing low, sweet chariot, you know, that UFO, that IFO, I should say, identified flying object. So this is Exodus 13 and 21. It says, and the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, in a chariot, to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, to give them light to go by day and night. So at night time, this thing lit up, yeah, and they refer to it as a pillar of fire. But we know that these are what's known as spaceships, or UFO, they'll call them today, unidentified objects. Well, Esau knows what these things are, which is why he's preparing himself a space station, you know, to look out for these things. And just like how they're in the Old Testament, they're referred to as well in the New Testament. And this is Acts chapter 1 verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of heaven. So this is speaking about Yahushua when he returned back to heaven. It says a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfast towards heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing into heaven? This same Yahushua which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So scriptures are letting us know, just like how Yahushua was taken up by a chariot, he himself is going to return in a chariot. And he tells you this as well. This is Matthew 26:64. It says, Yahushua saith unto him, Thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power, and coming in the clouds of heaven. Yeah, coming in the chariots of heaven. Yeah, so this is how he's going to return. In the same way he went, the same way he's going to return. The thing this time around when he returns, you know, what Esdras describes, you know, he'll be coming back in like a massive mothership. Now this is Second Esdras 13:6. It says, But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. So in Esdras is referring to this ship that is seeing, this spaceship that Yahushua is returning in as a great mountain. But I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not. So what he's saying is that, you know, he couldn't really tell you how big this ship was because it covered so much landmass. Yeah, he couldn't tell you where it actually started or began. And you're gonna see from this video clip here, starts off with some small spaceships. It gives you the movies that they come in, and it gives you like a relative size to how big these, a size comparison, like it says. So we have an understanding of how big these spaceships are in these movies. But then when we start to get to the bigger ships, you're going to start to understand why Esdras said that. But I would have, second Esdras 13:7, but I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not. Yeah, and these people know how big some of these ships are. This is why they're doing them, you know, why they got them in their movies, and the size that they're making them. You're going to see that some of these things are massive. So yeah, let's check out some of these. And Salakia for any ads that pop up. So like I said, it's giving you a size comparison so you can understand how big these ships are that we see in these sci-fi movies. So these ones that we're seeing, they're quite small at the moment. Yeah. So for those of us who remember Star Wars, remember this ship in Star Wars, this is the size. So this is like a size of a human being. So this would be the size of the ship in comparison to a human being. As you can see, some of these ships now they're starting to get a bit bigger. That's a car. Yeah, that's quite a big size to that car, but that's nothing yet. See, it's starting to get bigger now. But this is still nothing. These are babies, man. Lengths. This is the size of the ship. Oh. Hi. Like I was saying, sorry about some of these ads. It's like 34 meters. Yeah, Star Wars. Remember this ship in Star Wars? 34 meters. Mars Attack. 35 meters. I want to jump up a bit now. Here's one from Star Trek. 1.2 kilometers. You've got Battlestar Galactica, for those who remember that, 1.4 kilometers. We'll jump up a bit more. What's this? Another Star Wars, 1.6 kilometers. Now they're starting to get a bit bigger now. Star Wars. Just gonna jump some of these a bit more again. You can see, look, the size, like the area that these ships are covering. It is in Warhammer 12 kilometers. Yeah, Avatar, 13 kilometers. Let's quickly see something. It says 13 kilometers. Slovakia. Now this site here, I'm not good with kilometers, so it's going to change it into miles. So 13 kilometers is like a ship that's 8 miles long. Yeah, 8 miles long. Kilometers. Jump up a bit now. And look at this, 60 kilometers. And this is one in Star Trek. It's 78 kilometers. Let's see how big that is. 78 kilometers. And this is like 48 miles. Yeah, so you've got a ship that's 48 miles. Another one from Star Wars, 160 kilometers. Another Star Wars, 200 kilometers. The Independence Day, 596 kilometers. And really and truly, these are quite massive already, because look, it's showing you now, it's according to the size of the actual Earth, the globe, Destiny, Leviathan, 1,000 kilometers. Sorry, select these ads. Drove, and look at it now, to the size of the globe now. Destiny Almighty, 3400. Dreadnought. These ships are getting massive. Let me do another. This is Independence Day, Harvester Mothership. And this is 4,828 kilometers. So let's see how big that is. 4828. That's like almost 3,000 miles. Yeah, that's massive, 3,000 miles. So when you hear Ed just saying, let me quickly read that again. This is 2nd Ezra 13:6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the regional place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And imagine seeing something that's 3,000 miles long. You couldn't tell where that started. This is what Esdras is talking about. Okay, look to the globe. Relative. This is like this one is like the size of the Earth itself, man. The wandering Earth. Bloody hell. Rocks. Structure. Now this is, I don't know what this is coming from, but yeah, that's massive, man. You get an idea. And that's the sun. So you can see when Yahushua returns, the mothership that he's going to be traveling in is going to be massive. It's going to be massive. So with that, I'm going to close out. Give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Bahara Karkadash, Kwam Yasha Allah.